Hello.
Do this all again.
Pro
Wow.
streamer, by the way.
Hi. Welcome back to Suferia. Whatever. I already did the announcements, so thank you, Wiley. I
Read his lips.
apologize. I was just saying I missed hanging out with these nerds. So welcome back. Um, and I do definitely want to make sure it gets said that there's a new campaign going on Monday nights where Aramis is the DM and he's killing it, doing an awesome job. So, super excited for that. So make sure that you don't miss out on that. What time is it on Monday nights, Aramis?
7 CST, so an hour after this campaign tomorrow.
Okay, so 8-7 Central. Yeah. So
Or 1 a.m. What time zone are we in? What's it called?
Glasgow time.
GMT.
Um, yeah. So
Yeah.
come on and check that out. And then on Tuesday nights we have our 5th edition Rise of the Rune Lords campaign. So lots of fun, lots of good stuff going on. And come check out the Discord if you're not there already. And I'm just making an adjustment to the. Sorry, I'm futzing with this. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing with that now. Alright. So, as a reminder, because I think we started this the last time right before we took a 2-week break. We now have this.
We started this the last time right before.
Uh-oh. Somebody was watching the stream. We now have a pool of cool
I hope
dice.
so.
And so at any time you can use 2 cool of pool dice for to re-roll one of your d20 rolls or to make the DM re-roll. And 3 dice will let you do an out of rest hit dice healing. 4 dice will let you turn a failed death save into success. 8 if it's a crit fail. 5 dice will let you turn a hit into a super crit, which is automatic 2 max damage. So,
which is why we need to just keep 5 dice in the bank for me, because when I crit and then I smite on it, I do 1 billion damage.
1 billion damage.
Well, it doesn't even have to crit. It's just any attack that hits, you could do that.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, God.
I am going to put these rules in the Discord chat for you guys because I don't think I've done that yet. So you have access to that. There you go. You're welcome. And so, I think it's time to get into this. Now, we have a tradition on this in my games. By the way, Ken, your camera is not on.
Yeah, you had to step away for a
I don't know
minute.
if he's back.
Oh, okay.
He strategically stepped away when we were doing the recap.
Well, guess whose turn it is? No.
I think it's Andrew's turn.
Actually, yes, I was going to say that. So rather than make one of the players do the recap this time, normally what I was going to say is our tradition is that I roll a die at the beginning to see which of the players is going to do the recap. And but since the last 2 weeks I have canceled the session, I'm going to do the recap. So in Suferia, our party has been investigating a kidnapping of several children of a council member and tracked down an assassin who was apparently hired for the job. This was particularly causing chaos throughout the city because it was being blamed on some followers of Welena, which is the deity that Sivan follows, and and thus the city was cracking down on followers of Welena, and they were pushing back because it was seemed unfair, and much chaos ensued. So the party was able to find this assassin, rescue the children, had a run-in with a demon, and just barely managed to escape. And in particular, last session, after they escaped, they discovered that the person who hired the assassin was apparently masquerading as one of the council members, a Lord McKinnon. As they found Lord McKinnon's dead body in his house, along with his wife. And so that happened. And then, where are my notes from last time? I have my notes for today, but I do not have my notes from last time open, which is notes of campaign past. There it is. So after that, the player characters crashed. Fun fact: they got a long rest in session 13, which was the first time they had managed a long rest since towards the beginning of session 9. So quite a few sessions of one day. It was a lot that happened in that day.
It was a long day.
They rested. Most of them leveled up. Just in time for a cinnamon challenge. They found themselves in a ritzy hotel in the rich part of town and treated themselves, and took a cinnamon challenge, which, I mean, let's be honest, the only important part from last session is that Cole won the cinnamon challenge.
Was that really only last session?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's honestly the
that
only
one
thing I
time.
remember.
Yeah. After that, they took a trip to try to get access to the Field of Knowledge, which is the large library there in Mindrin, in the city that they're in. They were unable to get access, but they did get a tip from the guard that was stationed there, who told Godric about a smith in the town of Holmfirth who might be able to repair his rusted sword. So that is on the player's radar. And then Sivan, while that was happening, took a candlestick from Lord McKinnon's house to a pawn shop and sold it off. And then the party went and saw a tanner whom they had commissioned to make a cloak from their manticore wing, and got a prototype of some sort of a gliding apparatus. So they have that at their disposal now. And they, at the end of the session, they went to a small library where they had been before, and found and started doing some research there. This is a library called the Bookworm. And so we're going to pick up right there, because the players, the characters were doing some research. And so I owe them a lore dump on what they have been researching. So, starting with Godric. Godric, you were doing research on Rayacon, and You got an 11 on your investigation check. So you find a book that is actually titled Ryokan, which you're pretty excited about, and so looking into it, it starts talking about how the Ryokan really is actually just a government conspiracy to keep people from leaving Jindala. The first few chapters go into this detailed conspiracy, and you think, and you're about to throw the book away when you realize that that's just the first couple of chapters, and then so you kind of skip past that and you find the next section, which is another theory about Ryokan, which is that Ryokan is just this barren wasteland. And as you start to look at this book more and more, you're realizing that it's just a bunch of wild theories about Ryokan, and none of them have any actual substance to them. There's no evidence to back them up. It's just people basically blathering on what they think, is going on with Ryokan.
Well, that's disappointing, but
yeah. Sivan, you were doing some research on fiends. There's not a lot in this particular library about fiends. There's some fairy tales and things, but you get in general, you get the understanding that it's a very broad term. It encompasses a lot of different creatures that populate both the abyss and the nine hells, both of which are places to where evil souls are sent after people die, and so in this particular library, there's not a whole lot more than that you find. Cole, you were researching the Island of Fire. You find a book describing an island to the south of Axaris. Maybe we'll see. There's to the south of Axaris, which is the continent that Jindala is on. And this island actually has, most of the island is a large lake. And on that lake, there is an island, which is actually a very strange and regular volcano. It seems that this volcano, every 100 years exactly, it spends an entire year erupting, covering this smaller island in the big lake on this bigger island in lava. So, and that that smaller island is known as the Island of Fire.
Okay.
Cole, you were researching references to the Carrion King and or people who have gotten mysterious powers from some kind of woodland circumstance. So there are two big things that you find. The first is a legend about an elven man by the name of Kvesin. Put the name in the chat there. It seems that this man lived about 200, he died about 200 years ago. And there are some tall tales about him, but the general gist that you get about Kvesin is that he discovered some sort of portal deep in a forest. The legends are not clear about where this forest is, but he went through this portal and traveled to some magic land where he came back with tremendous powers and abilities of destruction and persuasion, and he was quite a force to be reckoned with, and spent a few years back among the elves in the forest, but eventually was drawn to go back through the portal again, and was never heard from again. The second thing that you find is a mention of the Carrion King. There is an account of a creature in the Feywild, which is a nature-based plane of existence. A creature called the Carrion King. There's not a lot known of him, other than that he kind of struck out from the main sort of governing authorities of the Feywild some centuries ago, and has been sort of building up his own what's the word? His own little empire within the Feywild over the past few centuries. So, you all are, hitting the books pretty hard. At one point, the older woman, who the librarian, she went back to her book, the book that she was reading after you guys, after helping you guys initially, but after you were reading for about half an hour or so, she came back and she said, "I know you all. You were here a few days ago. Where is your orc friend? He took out a book, right?"
I look around at the group. This is all news to me. Huh?
Is she talking about me? Did I take a book?
Yes. And you haven't looked at it since.
What did I take a book on?
You don't remember this?
In real life, this is probably like 5 months ago, Andrew.
You're killing me.
Hold on,
Love and War.
That was session 4, yeah.
Session 4, 7/21.
Oh wow.
I didn't write anything down about it, so it must not be important.
Come on. If there's one thing in the campaign you're supposed to track, it's the smut. Come on.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I think we've been pretty active since then.
But you have to take time for smut. I mean...
Always got to take time for smut.
So wait, did I say that I was going to put up a disguise self before I went in?
You did. Yeah, you disguised yourself as something random.
Okay, I'm going to take out the book and say, "Oh, here, he wanted me to return this to you."
Well, only if you're done with it. I mean, you still have at least 2 more weeks. I just wanted to see if how you were. You were the one who checked it out?
No, it was my friend.
Oh, and he gave it to you.
Yes, he was unexpectedly pulled from this city on business.
Okay. Have you read it?
No, it's not really my type of thing.
Okay. You're still holding it out for her?
Yes.
Okay, she takes it. Okay, well, thank you for bringing it back. It's a shame that the DM prepped a storyline for it, but I understand it's not for everyone. And she takes it back to her desk.
See what? Can I see what this book is? I have no idea what this book is. A glimpse of it.
Did you write the whole thing, Andrew?
Yeah, there's you get a glimpse of the front cover. It is this lurid picture of a man and a woman sort of entwined in each other's arms in on the floor of a cave with a torch on the wall behind them, casting shadows, and there's a
Is that what they're calling it these days?
yes,
Supaku must have been
They
researching new wrestling styles and methods. Interesting.
Oh man,
How much did you actually write for that, Andrew?
you don't know. You're never gonna know now.
He
Alright.
wrote the entire novel.
That's what I. If you're gonna
It
send me
is
like a paper-bound
NaNoWriMo.
copy, you can do that. I'll read it. If you need me to do some edits for you, I could do that. Like, it's fine.
No, screw you. If you're not gonna read my book, then forget it. No, I had sketched some ideas, but that was about it.
Sketches?
Not literal sketches. All right.
Thought this was
What
a
are y'all
family-friendly
doing next?
Unlike Supaku, I'll leave this bookstore with my dignity intact. It's returning smut. Ugh.
Excuse me.
The nights are long and lonely. You need, just a little bit of a good read.
So was all of that info about the Island of Fire in one book?
Yeah. You found a book about the Island of Fire, about a number of different places around Suferia that were of geographic interest.
I would like to check out that book,
Okay.
which I think the last one we checked out was like for 2 or 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
Okay. Very well, dear. Please do be sure to return it.
All right, will do. How much do I owe you for that?
Oh, there's no charge. We the library takes donations and is run based on that. The hope is that people will be honest and bring books back when they're finished with them.
Of course, it's mighty kind of you.
How do you deal with adventurers who die while they have books rented out?
She kind of looks around and says, well, most adventurers are not really the bookish sort, fortunately or unfortunately.
Maybe they would die less.
Maybe so.
Savan, I am surprised to say that I agree with you.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a backhanded compliment.
It's a skill.
So
Max is on a roll with these, wait, what? Moments.
All right.
Anyways.
So what's next?
I don't know.
What's that?
We're waiting for a call.
You are. It has not come yet.
Unless we want to take a day trip to some legendary smith the next town over.
Isn't it only like a couple hours, Andrew? Still.
Yes, it's a couple of hours to Homefirth.
What time is it?
It's about midday.
Hmm.
Kind of be pushing it, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Come on, if we left now, we'd be home for supper.
Yeah, but what if they need us here?
I don't know, Supaku, do you intend to spend the rest of your life in the city? I'm sure that there will always be situations that could spring up they might need our help on, but that doesn't mean that we need to focus all of our efforts to do good in the city.
But we specifically know that they're going to be calling us soon.
I would have preferred a more concrete timetable than soon, I suppose.
Take it up with them then.
Can you send a message and ask if soon is intended to be sometime today?
I hand him the sending stone.
All right, so I'll send a message. Was soon supposed to mean today? Need to journey to Homefirth.
You're sending this to
That's so
Lord
many
Akari?
words left, man.
Or Captain Ray.
Not very efficient. I thought the sending stone just went to Lord Arkaran. I think Commander Raid would be more appropriate.
Okay. You get a response from Commander Raid. He says, it will be today. The council is in discussions with Lord Arkaran. They will summon you in probably an hour or two.
Of course, the wheels of government always move swiftly.
It's like a teletype.
I look forward to their decision, to hearing their decision. There we go.
Their decision to summon us.
Do.
Well, again, what they're deliberating.
You pooping?
I assume their deliberations aren't over whether to call us. I'll return the stone to Supaku had it. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm out of things I needed to do for the day.
Well, what did they say?
Oh, yeah. They're deliberating it now, and the council is, and we should hear back from them by the end of the day. So I guess for now we stay here.
So you're staying there in the library and continuing to do research?
Say, if no one has anywhere better to go, I'd want to look into, what is this? Zulk?
Yeah, I was about to say, if nobody else wants to go anywhere, I was going to check this book of interesting geographical places first.
Okay, so you're looking for other interesting geographic places in the book?
Specifically Zulk, that place in the note that we found.
Okay. So Zulk itself is not like a geographic feature. So there's not really anything in this book about Zulk.
Okay.
What if I look for other things about Zulk in other books?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Oh man.
I'll help him.
Checks for it.
I don't know if that gives advantage.
Oh! I will tap you on the shoulder and grant you guidance. Because I have remembered that I
you
can do
make
that.
this
You know what would have been
very
more helpful
important
than
check
all
with
of
advantage and guidance.
I was gonna say, it'd be
Feel
better if
blessed
someone
by
else
your
rolled
rival.
that. And I
Feel
could give
blessed
you
by your rival god.
great.
Ooh,
18?
Thank goodness for that advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As the DM furiously pulls up his notes on Zulk. So Zulk is sort of a monastery town up in the mountains, in the Karndar Peaks, which I will show you where. It's the same mountain range that the mines of the mines near Mindrin are in. That's not the right map. There we go. So currently you are here. Sorry. You are here. And this whole mountain range here are the Karndar Peaks. Zulk is located high up in a mountain over here. It is very difficult to get to. There are lots of dangerous creatures roaming through the mountains. But Zulk itself is essentially a monastery. People travel there to seek solitude, to train with some of what?
Does anyone go there to learn how to shout in Draconic runes? It's very throat of the world, Skyrim vibe to it.
I don't know what that is. But yeah, so followers of all deities are welcome there, and it's kind of one of those places where it's somewhat bleak, but like intentionally bleak, and the idea is that you go there to sort of attune with nature, and as part of that, to sort of learn your place in the world and things like that.
Do I learn anything of so far as like governance or hierarchy there? Like, is there like various like monastic sects in there? Is it kind of like libertarian, like freewheeling?
It's pretty freewheeling. It's sort of a geriocracy. Is that the right term? Where sort of the people who have been there the longest are the most respected, and therefore they're not like formally in charge, but people basically do what they say. Is what it amounts to.
Okay.
What? You said geriocracy.
That's not the.
And I didn't know what it meant, so I thought it meant just ruled by old people.
Essentially, yeah. That's the idea of the term, is that the oldest are the most fit to rule.
My first thought was that the ruler's name was Jerry.
Yeah, it's the guy from Parks and Rec. He's the.
I thought his name was Larry.
No, it's the ox from our last campaign that had it hots for our barbarian.
Did you say an ox?
Or
Good times.
yeah, it pulled our carriage, and it had the hots for our barbarian, our Goliath
Okay.
barbarian.
That's D&D.
Gerontocracy apparently is the correct term. Thank you, Ken. That was close.
Who are significantly
very
older
close.
than most of the adult population. I was right then.
Yeah, and in this case, it's not so much about age specifically, but about sort of more seniority. The people who have been there the longest and are the wisest.
All right.
Out of character, you might want to take another look at that riddle before you go to Zolk. Just saying. Cole, as Godric is doing this research, you actually receive a message. And it says, where is that? It says, Cole, not sure how this thing works. Can you hear me? We're at the gate. We need to talk to... And then it cuts off. You do recognize the voice. This is Joseph.
Oh,
Sorry. I just clicked the wrong thing.
Mhm.
Sivan is convinced that the librarian is evil.
yes.
Yeah. Now I get to prepare one more spell.
Yes,
and
you
that
can
seems
you
like
can
a good
respond
one
to the message if
prepare.
you would like, Cole.
Yeah, I can. I'll reply. Oh, yeah, you got it. Well, give me a bit,
Okay.
and that's it. Turn to the party. Who are they? Still in the middle of research at this point?
We'll say it's wrapping up at this point.
Okay. Hey, so I just got a message from, I think it's my brother at the front gate. Um, I'm gonna run there real quick and see if it's all right, how things are going. Y'all want to come with?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
And I will brisk pace to the gate.
Okay. Are you all going?
Yeah, I got nothing
Yeah.
better to do besides read some smut.
Well, you no
You
longer
can
have
do
the
both.
smut book, so no more smut until you check
What a
something out.
shame.
You're being a little passive aggressive here, Andrew, about this whole book thing.
I mean, that's how the game works. My hands are tied. So, as you are on your way to the this would be the western gate of Mindrin, you're heading along the street, and across on the other side you see two guards who are they're kind of just walking along the street, the far side of the street in the opposite direction that you're walking, and they stop a middle-aged man. He appears to be human, kind of black, long black hair with pulled back into a ponytail, kind of gray streaks through it. And you can't hear the conversation from where you are, but they are like stopping this guy and essentially frisking him from what it looks like. Would you all do anything or just continue on?
Cole is eyes on the target.
If he's power walking, I'm probably power walking behind him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, can we like walk a little bit out of the way and see if we can hear?
You'd have to cross the street.
Oh, okay. Well, I
I'm
don't
sorry,
really-
who is doing the frisking?
Two guards, city guards.
I'm sure they're doing, nothing wrong.
Okay. All right.
Andrew just burns that page too, along with the smut.
Moving right along. So you
Sorry, it's what
arrive.
he would do.
That's fine. Okay, so you arrive at the western gate of Mindrin, and you enter. It's a small like stone building that's built kind of it's built into the wall, but on the inside of the wall, it's bigger than a gazebo, but it's a pretty small building. And it's just sort of it's a messenger post, and it's the place, Cole, where you went to go and send the message to your hometown. Which, by the way, I don't think we've named your hometown yet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Don't think it was really hometown. It was just like a farm. But yeah, it might have been a small town or community.
Yeah, there's a few farms together, in a small town called Crowfield, which I will put in the chat for you. So yeah, you enter and there are a few people kind of in line getting ready to send messages or mail through the messenger service. And Cole, you see sort of a flash of movement to your left before you get just tackled. And the rest of you look, and you see a young woman, probably in her late teens, early 20s, fiery red hair. Cole, this is Bonnie. And
Of course.
yeah, she just totally kind of tackles you, and everyone kind of turns and looks.
He got blindsided, so he goes down.
Yeah, and Joseph kind of comes over behind her and now Bonnie, come on now, we're in public, you gotta behave.
Oh, hold on.
She just kind of like sits on your chest, like, where have you been? You just up and disappeared.
Well, I'm sorry. A lot of stuff went crazy, and I don't know what to do. I kind of sit up, push her off.
Yeah, she slides off, and Joseph kind of pulls you up to your feet and then punches you in the arm. And then gives you a hug.
Yeah, give him a hug, slap him on the back heartily.
It's good to see you, bro. We missed you. Hang 10.
Totally.
Yeah.
So it seems like enough immediate introductions have gone on. I would walk in and introduce myself. You seem to be friends of Cole here.
They turn and and Bonnie goes, "Friends with him? Hell no."
No.
I'm sad to
These
say
are my
that sorry loud is my
siblings.
brother.
Say, oh, wonderful. Family's the most important thing. Please, Godric Lex, pleasure to meet you both. And go for like a handshake, both of them.
Oh, well. She kind of shakes your hand and kind of looks you up and down. Aren't you a gentleman?
Don't get any ideas.
I will bow deeply at that. Thank you.
Oh my. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Sir Knight. I am Bonnie. What? Bonnie Vestra. Is that right? Vestra?
Yeah.
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 And Joseph will also introduce himself. She and then he turns to Supaklu, and he says, "I'm guessing you're the one called Supaklu, and Sivan."
Yes.
That is correct.
Yeah, got that right.
It's a pleasure to meet you both. And he kind of sticks out a hand. He sticks a thumb in Cole's direction and says, "This guy didn't tell us much, but he said y'all have been watching out for him, and we certainly appreciate it." And Bonnie kind of grabs your arm and she says, "Well, you gonna buy a girl a drink or what? I want to see this big city while we're here."
Only a proper lady.
So you're buying me a drink?
Maybe. You're on your own. I looked down at Bonnie.
Check's character sheet gold. Please, friends, drinks are on me.
All right. So
Fair enough.
You all go to a nearby tavern called the Early Candle. FantasyNameGenerator.com. Actually, this is Supaklu. This is the tavern where you first met Cole. You and Haster, or Haster and Cole came in here while you were having a drink here. And yeah, so as you all enter, the seven of you enter Soup, you see Benoa, who's the waitress that sort of your favorite waitress that you always see when you would go to this place. And she sees you come in and, "Soup, what is? I haven't seen you in a few days. Where have you been?"
All over the place.
Last
Work's been taking me out of the city a bit.
That's right. Last you were here, you said you were gonna go check out the Fortunate Brave, right?
Yeah, it's gotten, with everything going on around the city, it's been an interesting few days.
I bet. Please come on in, and she welcomes all of you, and gets you set up at a table. Yeah, are you all ordering ale or?
Yeah.
I think I'll just order like a round of ales.
Okay.
That works.
Wine.
Of
Sorry,
course.
I disconnected for a
Of
second.
course.
Okay, so the ales come. You all catch up a bit. Eventually, Joseph turns to you, Cole, and he says, seriously though, what the hell happened?
I don't know. What did you see back then?
I mean, I wasn't there. I was in Egard, but I wasn't. You were several blocks away from me by the time whatever it was happened. I saw people running and yelling, and then you were gone.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe what happened. It was just walking down the street looking for supplies and everything, and then it all went crazy around me. And I woke up and people were yelling and pointing and running. I just had to get away. And I just hoped you got out safe. I'm glad to see you're here.
He says, well, good news is nobody died. It was a close call. There were some people with some pretty bad burns. There's an awful lot of rumors going around, though. People saying you set off a bomb, or I don't know. Nobody's quite sure what happened. You were maybe doing some magical experiment.
You know me, I can do some crazy, stupid stuff, but I don't do that sort of thing. But magic is real weird. So that explosion went off or whatever happened, I don't know, fire, blacked out, woke up, and kind of takes a little candle out of his bag and just touches it and it lights up.
He he does a double take at that. So you are doing magic stuff.
Apparently.
Wow, I never thought I'd see the day. So
Only both.
what? Now you're some traveling adventurer going off and seeing the world? Lighting it on fire?
Oh, nothing that exciting. Just trying to figure out what happened back there, why I can do this now, and what it all means. You know, and then if I can get it all under control, I'm back to the. Can't leave people like you in charge of it. Whole thing will burn down on its own.
Bonnie at that point goes, you're darn right. But then she looks back at you, Cole, and she says, it's bad though, brother. Wow, that was I don't know what that accent was.
Oh, yeah, brother.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Can I get a witness?
Pulls up the wig and it's actually Macho Man.
Yeah.
That would explain what she's been doing on the top rope this whole time.
She says, I'm really self-conscious. She says, well, nobody's really sure what happened, but there's a lot of damage done. A lot of people are upset, and Mama and Papa are having to, well, they're having to pay for the damage that got done. They're not telling us how much they owe, but it's bad, Cole. They're not
Why
sure
are
they
they
can
getting
keep the
strapped
farm.
with this?
What was that?
Now, why are they getting strapped with this then?
Because nobody's sure what happened, but all anybody does know is that that you were right in the center of it. So somebody's got to pay, and you weren't around.
I'll shake my head. It seems like a great tragedy befell your village, but it's surely a blessing that nobody was killed. Have you thought about talking to a church of Benton, seeing if possibly some collections could be taken up to help with the repairs?
Did you say that, Sulan?
What's Savant saying?
Once he says Benton, not when he's saying, like, oh, maybe you can see if they could. No, when he says Benton, I say shut up. But then he continues, and I'm like, oh.
You know, the church with people who run businesses and have money to donate to it. That one.
And what is that supposed to mean?
This might be out of character, but I'll roll with it. Just, more orderly folk do tend to prosper more, and whether it's a benefit of our divine worship or just a fact of life, we tend to be a little more prepared to help when it's needed.
I'll lean over to my siblings and be like, these two will keep you entertained for weeks.
Hope Bonnie doesn't take that the wrong way.
Is it possible? Can I do like a little tiny sacred flame that'll just pinch him, kind of? Not actually do any damage, but just kind of like a little flick or something.
That would probably be more in the domain of like thaumaturgy or
Okay, I'll do that then.
You have that? Yeah, okay.
I have thaumaturgy. Can I just shock him a little bit? Is that a thing I can do?
Sure. Why not? It's just like a little arcane flick.
Yeah, just like a.
Yeah.
Ow, that hurt. Doing great, guys.
Derilium takes 1 point of damage.
I'll mark it off.
Can I roll like con or something just to try to keep my composure to act like nothing happened?
Sure.
What I want is I want
Maybe
the
a
possibility to do
performance check?
very bad on the save and for Godric to like yelp like in a high pitched voice.
Okay, sure. Go for it. Roll it would be a
like-
Constitution saving throw.
Saving throw.
Oh yeah. No, you can play it off however you want.
Yeah, probably just like a quick like catch in my voice, like I didn't mean any offense. I was just trying to offer a suggestion.
And Joseph pipes up and he says, I mean, uh, not a whole lot of people around Crowfield are very happy with Cole right now. I'm not sure we get too many donations for something like this. As far as they're concerned, it's him that owes the money, and if he's not around, gotta be our family that pays out. Plus, I mean, small farming town, not a whole lot of cash going around.
It's true.
I'm not familiar with your town, unfortunately. Is there any guess, any estimate of what sum you're looking at?
Bonnie says, Mom and Pa won't tell us how much it is, but I don't know. It's a lot. Must be a lot. I mean, there were at least 3 buildings that caught fire.
Yeah, unfortunately, I put my coin purse on the table and it's just a gold and 6 silver comes out. Not exactly much richer than when I left home. When I ran away there.
She, Joseph kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, look, we're not trying to tell you that you gotta, solve all our problems. I don't know, man. Just figured you ought to know. Maybe if you can figure out what actually happened, maybe that'll help.
It's the plan.
Anyway, we just wanted to, talk to you in person, let you know what happened, catch up a bit.
Right. While you were wandering around Egard, you talked to anyone named Vin before everything went crazy?
Vin. No? Nobody by that name's been around Egard, as far as I know. Certainly not Crowfield.
Actually, yeah, I do have. So I'll reach into my bag, pull out gem worth 50 gold that I have, and pull it out to Joseph. It's not gold, but something that I can give.
Joseph
Maybe hold on to the farm for a bit longer. Give me some time.
Yeah, Joseph kind of puts a hand up and he says, if I'm not badly mistaken, that's just gonna be a spit in the bucket. Better to use that on your journeys to try and figure out what the hell happened. We're not here asking for money, bro. We're just, letting you know what's what.
Would another 100 gold pieces help ease the burden at all?
He says, I mean, I don't know. I gotta figure it's probably thousands of dollars, thousands of gold that's owed. I don't. Again, I think y'all are better off keeping that money and investing it in keeping my brother safe and helping him figure out what's going on. I mean, we appreciate it and all, but just find out what happened.
I nod, understanding. Oh, sorry.
Guess we both confirmed that we will.
Uh, Bonnie looks to you, Godric, and she says, "While we're in the city, though, maybe you could give us a tour of the place and show us the city, show us the sights."
I'm quite new here myself, actually. Though I would be interested in such an adventure too. Soup, you're from here, correct?
Yep.
Well, while we're waiting for a response from the council, I wouldn't mind getting more acquainted with the area myself.
She she looks over at Joseph and she says, "Strong, handsome Andy rubs shoulder with the council."
Yeah, just name
it's
drop.
about as far as you'll go there, Bonnie.
Perfect.
And I didn't know she was coming, so I'll say it now. Look at Soup and Godric. Stay away from my sisters.
Okay, so just
Do I need to?
So on a scale
I
of
didn't
1 to 10,
expect,
let's say that.
but yes.
I don't think it'll color Godric's reactions at all, but on a scale of 1 to 10, like Bonnie, like he's going to be polite and courteous no matter what and leave it there. But I just want to know how much this annoys Cole.
Let's see. You're asking how attractive she is?
Yes.
She's average.
Roll a d10.
I rolled it behind the scenes. Actually, the chat can see it.
Oh, you actually rolled. That's funny.
Yeah, I'll just hold up my hands like, nope, I'm good.
Man, I imagine Soup would give like the Ron Burgundy walking the city, just like, well, the city's named after an old pirate who was cast ashore by his crew here. It's like, isn't this the main continent? None of this adds up.
Sure, we could do a whirlwind tour, I guess. Is there anything close by that would be good touristy areas? Ooh, let's go to the lightning rail. They haven't been on the lightning rail, have they?
No, they
We just
wouldn't
ride
have
that
been.
for a couple hours, they'll be blown away.
Or they might vomit in the first 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, you want to take them on the lightning rail?
Yes, absolutely.
Fingers crossed it's better than my first experience with a lightning rail, where it exploded.
Yeah. I feel like there's a joke there about riding the lightning rail. I don't know.
Until it explodes.
Sure. I don't know. Alright. So yeah, you give them the tour around the stops, the various stops of the city, on the lightning rail, for about an hour or so before. What is so funny, Ken?
You didn't catch that joke that Drew made.
Nothing.
But that's good.
So you're telling us that it takes a whole hour riding the lightning rail before it explodes. Got it.
Such stamina.
Rocks fall, everybody dies.
Yay!
Luckily, we all rolled up stats in chat already, so we're good.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't roll.
Oh no, well,
Is
you're
it
just
next
dead.
time?
Sucks. My next
Yeah, I
character
can't
gets
roll
to
any
be a god.
character.
It's pretty awesome.
Those are some nice
Alright.
stats.
So after about an hour of that, Yeah, I think Godric, probably you get a message from Captain Raid, and he says, you are being summoned to the Grand Hall on the Ascended platform. Please come at once. Be advised, security in the city has increased.
Well, then, I'll relay that message to the group. Say, Cole, I think we might want to get your relatives stored away safely in an inn or some other area where they can stay out of trouble with the increased guard.
Joseph says, "Well, we really got to be
Before
getting
he
back
can
home.
say anything, I give him a baleful eye. Like, you're going to be the one that's going to cause the trouble. You know that, right?
Joseph kind of puts his hands up and he's like, I ain't here to cause any trouble. We got to get back to the farm anyway. We can't really stick around, but just wanted to catch up with you and let you know what's been going on. Figured letter wasn't gonna cut it."
And I'm glad to see you.
You too,
I
bro.
pull them both into a big hug.
And yeah, Bonnie kind of wipes her eyes a bit, and she goes, "Now you stay safe. Figure this out and come on back home. Now you hear?"
Okay.
What was that?
I was going to see if I could try to slip the gem worth 50 gold into one of their bags.
The answer is no.
Apparently
The
not.
answer is no.
You go to try, and the gem slips out of your hand and kind of bounces on the ground.
I'll
You
just
dropped
bend down to
something.
pick it up. Cole, you dropped this, it seems. There you are.
Thanks, Godric. I can always count on you.
Of course, my friend.
And Joseph looks at you, Cole, and just says, "Look, bro. Why do I always
Had to
screw that
try.
up? I guess bro's not like a farmer. You can't really do bro in a farmer accent or something."
You really can't.
I reckon
I'm from
you
Kansas.
can.
You can't
Look,
do bro.
Yeah, that's not really. I guess that's not a farm thing. He says,
Cuz, maybe? I don't know.
"They're not cousins."
Fam.
He says,
Fam! Look, fam!
"Oh, you know what he will do? He'll go, Co, we talked about this. You keep it."
All right. Fair enough.
The rest of you keep him safe, huh? And Bonnie kind of punches you in the arm, Godric, and she says, "Yeah, if Co gets hurt, I'm gonna come beat you up."
If he does
Don't
on my
doubt her.
watch, I will join you in that endeavor.
All right, they're going to start heading back to the west gate and back towards home. All right. So the rest of you head to the Ascended platform.
Just before we get off the train, I'm going to cast Disguise Self.
Okay. So why don't we take our break a little bit early there, and we will pick up there at the train station, the lightning rail station.
Cool.
All right, so be back in about 5 minutes, everyone.
Yeah.
Sweet. other thing about the wall.
And welcome back. Okay.
They eventually drop the charges, but the mime will never walk again.
The next place he robs better have a wheelchair ramp.
Wow. So, you guys like my new little scene setups on the stream? I got one arrangement for just you guys and one for you guys with the chat. Pretty pleased with myself. I might actually bet I could do this.
Oh, that's fancy.
And then,
Now we
what
can't
do I
see
need
you
to
though.
do? Hang on, I'm fixing it. There.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing like a
That.
nice.
That looks a little weird.
Smart.
That looks a little weird though.
If you move it over just a little bit,
Move it which way?
maybe the chat to the left.
Oh, like center it?
Don't center it, but just like a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
There?
Yeah.
no, like still under you, but with a little bit more to the right.
Like line up the left edge of the chat with the left edge of his frame.
Yeah.
Like that?
There you go.
Okay.
I think that
works.
looks better.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, right. So you all get off of the lightning rail at the stop for the ascended platform. The first thing that you notice is that where previous times when you've been to this stop, there have been 2 guards. There are currently 6 guards there. And Captain Raid is there as well. As you all get off, you guys have me thinking about your lightning rail metaphor.
Got him.
Phrasing, yeah.
As you all depart the lightning rail, and step into the station, Captain Raid steps up and he says, "It's good to see you all again." He says, because of yesterday's incidents, I'm going to need to verify that you all are who you say you are. And so the guards are going to have to check to see the cat's butthole as it flies across Ken's camera. Sorry. Just to see that you all are not disguised in some way. And so yeah, the guards are going to step forward to kind of frisk all of you. Go ahead, Sivan.
This is incredibly awkward. I have a rather large deformity, so I usually keep a disguise spell up. Is there no other way of verifying my identity? Because I would really rather not drop it.
Make a persuasion check.
It's true. sadly. Like, give her advantage.
Not true. Wow.
I mean, it kind of is.
But he also has somebody else vouching for the lie with another lie, so that could still give her.
I mean,
No.
the way she treats it and discusses herself, she acts like it's a deformity sometimes, you know?
I mean, I do have a giant scar on my face.
That's not
True.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
That's not what you're trying to hide, though.
Ugh. This is my first roll of the night, guys. It's gonna be so bad.
With
I'm so
intention.
scared. Intention. Don't fuck me. Please don't fuck me.
They're not trying to fuck you. They're just trying to frisk you.
14? 14?
Captain Raid says you put me in an awkward position. Tell me, when we saw that creature in the vault, what did she scream at us?
Well, okay, so, in-game, this was like a day ago, right?
Yeah, a couple of days.
So I would remember.
Yeah, you probably would remember. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, she screamed, how dare you enter my father's vault?
How dare you enter my father's vault?
What is that?
Sup, bro?
That's what she screamed.
I really don't think it is. He turns to the guards and he says, I can confirm she is the one who has been traveling with this group for at least the past several days. He does tell you, Sivan, be advised, as soon as you enter the council building, that disguise spell is going to be dispelled. There are mechanisms in place now for disabling such spells.
Okay. I will just pull my hood up then.
Okay. Okay. And so they essentially frisk the other three of you, but I'm saying frisk because that's the closest sort of modern day approximation, but it's basically checking to make sure that like everything sort of matches, that like they're not passing through anything that is imaginary. But I mean, that obviously would not that would hold up for all of you. So it's not a problem.
Or would it? No.
Thought I wasted a spell.
Oh, that's right. Godric, make a descent. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so I've been a tiefling this whole time.
That would be
Caught me.
hilarious. Okay, so yes.
I will say thank you to Captain Raid, by the way. I'll take a moment. Thank you. That is very appreciated.
Of course. This is not targeted at you all specifically. It's with the situation as it
Of course.
is. many security concerns are being considered.
Of course, absolutely.
Very well. Shall we? And
Lead the
so,
way.
yeah, he leads you back to the platform where he triggers a glyph that I think, Godric, you've gone through this, right? You've been
Yeah, I
up
think so.
to see Lord Akaran in his office, so yeah.
Yeah.
So there's this very weird shift, and you're essentially transported to the ascended platform. You see the small building off to the side. It's the sort of pavilion looking building, and then the larger the immense building that has the is the council office building, essentially. And he leads you through to down basically the main hallway, and you come to what can only possibly be the main the grand chambers. And you enter, and so there are probably, I would say, at least sort of 10 rows of chairs. It's set up like an auditorium type of thing. And so there's like a main aisle, which Captain Raid leads you down. And there's 10 rows of seats on either side facing the front, which you are now approaching. And on this essentially stage, there are let's see, it would be 8 seats sitting across the stage, facing the auditorium. There are a number of people in the auditorium. It's not full by any means, but looking across, it's clear that these are probably like, you know, various staff members who work for the council, who are taking notes and you know, carrying out orders of the council. And you see Lord Urkaran is sitting in the front row, and he kind of catches your eye and kind of gives you all a nod. And there's like a podium sort of at the front of the center aisle, and Captain Raid just sort of gestures in front of it for the four of you to kind of stand around. And then yeah, you see the council members file onto the stage from a back door. So as they file in, the first to come in, you see an elven man with long, sort of curled golden hair and green eyes. He's got his skin has sort of a strange bluish tint to it. And the second seat is left empty from the left. In the third seat, you see a half-orc woman with these very imposing-looking, protruding tusks. She sits there, and then and you actually, this woman and the next woman you would actually recognize, as they were outside Lord Okarin's office the last time you went to see him. The next woman is a sort of a delicate-looking brunette woman with sort of frizzy brown hair. And then you see a rather rotund-looking gnomish man with this very thin brown beard, followed by a young halfling man, and then a rather sour-looking gnome man who just kind of folds his arms, looks disgusted with the whole proceedings. And followed by an older, elegant-looking human woman takes the last seat, and she's the one who speaks up, and she says, "Greetings and welcome to this council proceeding. Would the four of you please identify yourselves for the record?"
Cole Vesera.
Spaklu Iron Eye.
Sivan.
Godric Lex of House Lex.
Very well, thank you. And she turns and nods to someone in the front row, older-looking human man who steps up, and the councilwoman. Oh, by the way, Sivan, sure enough, as you entered the building, your disguised self was dispelled.
Mm.
You're now in your tiefling form under your cloak.
Great.
The older man steps up, and the woman who spoke up previously said, "At this time, we're going to ask that you all." This is not a trial, Max.
Yet.
And
I just want to be ready to declare it if it.
and you don't know is the answer to your question.
Damn.
So the older woman says, "At this time, we're going to ask that you all submit to a spell that will ensure that you are telling the truth before the council chamber, before the council. Is this acceptable?"
Sure.
Do like a small bow.
I am slightly hurt that you think a spell is necessary, but I will consent to it.
She looks to you and she says, I understand, and we realize that you all have done a great... Sorry, I just read Aramis's comment. We understand that you have done a great service to our city. However, we need to be sure. And so... Whoa, that's the wrong button. I just clicked on the...
Godric will mutter something under his breath.
Do I catch what it is?
demand trial by combat.
I imagine you guys catch it. Just says, if honor doesn't provide certainty, what's it for?
Okay, I think she's going to ignore your muttering. Okay, and so the older gentleman is going to cast Zone of Truth. And so you are so I guess the first question is, are you all resisting the spell? You do have the option to, so there's a saving throw involved that you could resist it if you would like, but the caster would know.
I'll fail my save.
Good.
Yeah, I won't resist.
I'll submit, but can I make the roll just to see if I would succeed? Because I'm curious.
Sure. It is a charisma saving throw.
That's a no.
Nope.
A natural 1. Okay, so for the next, is it an hour? Casting time, duration 10 minutes. But they would keep the spell up. So essentially, for the duration of this conversation with the council, you are unable to directly lie. Okay, so the older gentleman sits back down, and the woman speaks up, and she says, "My name is Rasen Zanu. I am the chairwoman of the council. I report directly to King. What's his name?
Jendala?
No. I should know
It's just
this.
King.
I know this, but I keep wanting to say a different name that's wrong.
She could just say the king.
Yeah,
Sam.
yeah. She'll say that's what she'll do. She'll say I report directly to the king, and I chair the council here in Mindrin, and we are currently in investigating the events of yesterday. We have heard testimony from Lord Urkaren, but we would like to hear a direct account from the four of you as to how you came to find these kidnapped children and rescue them, and how it came to Lord McKinnon's house. It seems that yesterday was an eventful day. So please, do tell us what occurred.
I think Godric would just start talking, but I don't freaking remember as a player. But I think I'd start with like just going. Listen, we were going around trying to collect information at first, like Temples of Walena, and kind of like trace out the investigation into, the one dead end, the halfling girl, I think it was, who worked with the magic item shop. Bernadette.
We interrogated
Bernice.
that thug who attacked us
Bernice.
at the
Bernice.
right? And
Right.
then
Mhm.
we went to the was it a warehouse or something? And we convinced the leader to
So,
tell us.
So
I
we're
do
not
think
saying
that
all this out loud, but
yeah,
Oh, no,
I was going to
Godric
say,
was
I
It
think
was
that
beryllium reminding Max.
yeah. I
So,
do think that
yeah,
we're going to
the
have to
full
actually
story-
have the conversation in character because it's very important which parts you actually say and how you say it.
All right, so
Right.
Godric would start with probably was the first thing interrogating the Tabaxi poisoner. I think that's kind of like the first step of our investigation.
she didn't really give us anything
Yeah.
related to this investigation, though.
Yeah, I know, but still, Godric's just trying to be like, all right, here's the whole story from our side. So he'd start there and just go forward chronologically. If anyone interrupts or jumps in,
Okay.
like,
And
you know,
just
you
to
probably figure out
throw
what's
it out there for just brief moments so we're all on the same page. The way I remember it is, one, we went to a whole bunch of temples and just asked random people, asked a few guards.
Mhm.
Two, Savon got the message from her contact that he was under attack. We went to that bar and got ambushed. Guards saved us and we interrogated the thug. Then we went to a warehouse, made a deal with a small-time crime lord, basically, for
Maybe not
information.
small time because he works for the 9, so
The 7.
Well, the 7.
7.
The 5.
I knew it was a number.
7 of 9.
Different thing.
The
Oh,
7
God.
pieces of 8.
And then, based on that information, we went to a secure house that he knew of that they were likely to be being. We busted inside, found them, rescued the kids, and drove off the assassin who took Savon hostage, and we chased her into the tunnel. And from that point, only Savon knows what happened.
So I think I would relay it all in that manner. The thing is, and again, like the stuff about him being a part of the 7 and stuff, I didn't know.
Yeah, you actually don't know anything about what we did in the warehouse, just that we had information
Right.
when we came.
But I would say, like, you guys went in, you were able to negotiate with this person to find out where the safe house was. I would start to mention why the fight with the kidnapper ended prematurely.
How would you be saying?
I imagine it's like I would like be describing the fight and that I thought that all hope was lost. I thought that we were going to be cut down by her wicked blade. But then she agreed to take Savon as a hostage because she revealed herself to be, horned and red. And again, if I'm not stopped, I will say all of that.
Oh, so as soon as you do that, I will. As soon as you say she agreed to take Sivan hostage, I'll step in and say, she and I are enemies. So
Your
I suppose
your
he
mic
can-
just turned way down somehow.
oh, I don't know. Is
That's
this better?
Was it just me or?
No, it got
And now we can't hear you at all. I think it just came unplugged or something. There goes Discord.
Is this any better?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Okay, great. So you say she decided to take Savan hostage, and I'll jump in and say, yes, we have met before, and she is an enemy of mine. So she agreed to take me instead of the children.
And the the councilwoman will say, so who is this person?
Her name is Razira, She is an assassin.
And you know her how?
We have crossed paths many times. She has always been a particularly horrible person. I was very lucky to get out of this encounter alive.
Very well. Continue.
She took me to a shop. She took me to a shop, and we entered some underground tunnels. We traveled for a while, and we got eventually to a building where she was reporting to who seemed to be Lord McKinnon, who then decided that we could not be trusted and that he would kill us. And he summoned a demon, and we both ran. She ran one way and I ran the other. I ran into my companions and the guards. We went back to the estate, killed the demon, and then discovered that it was not Lord McKinnon, but someone disguised as Lord McKinnon, and Lord McKinnon and his wife had been murdered.
That is quite the tale. She looks across the other council members, and yeah, I mean, so the elven man has just been kind of very intently listening. So is the half orc woman. The half elf woman, she's just been kind of like, looking around. Picture what's the character's name in Harry Potter? The
Luna Lovegood?
no,
Trelawney?
not the one that teaches the astrology.
Trelawney.
Trelawney.
Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
Trelawney.
Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, picture her
Seriously.
like, her eyes just kind of wandering all over the place, and she seems like she's probably listening, but she also seems pretty out there. The fat gnomish man has been absolutely transfixed. He's following every single word that you're saying.
Can
In
I
fact,
insight them? Are any of them a bit more interested than they should?
go ahead and you can roll an insight check. The sour looking gnomish man and the human and the woman who has been speaking have just been kind of generally listening and paying attention.
Yeah, that was a 9.
Yeah, you're more focused on the story and making sure you get all the details just right and not revealing too much. But actually the fat gnome is going to jump in at this point, and he is going to say, so this woman, this Razira, was hired by the person posing as Lord McKinnon, and you found out through his underling, the half-orc man whose name I'm not recalling off the top of my head.
Stapaklu.
No. Is this correct?
Yes?
And where can we find this half-orc man?
Did we give him to the cops? I think we gave him to the cops.
No, the half-orc
If you're-
is the one at the warehouse who you agreed not to get involved.
Oh.
Okay. Then since Godric was the one talking, we didn't say anything about him. Unless prompted.
Well, you would have. Okay. So what he would
I
have.
would have. I think all I knew is that there was some guy at a warehouse. I don't know if I knew he was the half orc.
Okay, so the person in the warehouse that you got the information from. Where is this warehouse, and who is this person?
I'd give him the exact location.
I might kind of stop Godric and let Zapal, since he's more well-versed in the inner city politics. Probably.
It's much harder to politic when you're in a zone of truth.
True.
What, are you implying that politicians like to lie or something?
That's why you have proficiency in deception.
You can't.
That doesn't help you in a zone of truth.
You'd think not.
Hold on a sec. I'm trying to find my page on this guy.
What if I'm trying to trick myself to change what I believe to be true? Boom, self-deception for the win.
I cast Mind Blank on myself.
Is his name Alhoun? Is that?
Mm-mm. Alhorn is Sivan's
Oh no, that's
bestie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get off my nipple,
I can
cat.
go find it. Second.
Was Hogarth.
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, yeah, because it's the name of the kid in the Iron Giant. So that's what I kept thinking about every time it was mentioned.
Let's see. So let's see. His name is Hogarth. They run some sort of like protection ring, basically, right? Basically, the summary of what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so they're
protection-
muscle for
they're
hire. Yeah,
muscle
yeah.
for hire, yeah.
Yeah.
They have a ring of protection? Well, I'd buy that.
Yeah, so I'll say that he's a half orc. He's the leader of a gang of thugs, basically.
Okay.
I was thinking about narking on this guy anyway, so
Okay.
to be
That's fair.
completely honest.
You just totally went for it. Okay, that won't bite. That won't come back to bite you.
Oh, we're leaving
We
the city
would
in the dust anyways.
Appreciate if you were to act on this information that you keep us out of it. As we fear some sort of retribution.
I side glance at Savan. I fear no retribution from a cowardly thug who would use his teeth to attack a man in combat. Will not come
Well,
back to bite me.
I'm glad that you don't. However, we did tell him we would not get him involved.
The fat man stands up and he walks sort of, yeah, they're just in chairs facing the, so he walks to the edge of the stage right in front of where you're standing. He says, I've not properly introduced myself yet. Where did my notes just disappear to?
The other struggle of the DM.
For some reason today, Chrome decided to stop doing the thing, allowing me to do the thing where you reopen a tab that you just closed.
Control-Shift-T.
I don't know what the shortcut is. I usually right-click on the tab and then hit it. Okay.
Try Control-Shift-T.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, Big Wiz deleted your notes because Wizards of the Coast plays favorites with their D&D streams and podcasts.
Yes, it's a conspiracy, much like the conspiracy of Raycon. So yeah, he says, I have not properly introduced myself yet. My name is Angwe Petrolov. The 2 children that you rescued are my children. If it were up to me, you all would be knighted and honored as heroes of the city in a parade. The last thing I want is to throw you to this cowardly, filthy crime lord. What I do want is to rout this thing out and crush him like a little bug.
I think based on everything we discerned from him and the assassin, he not involved heavily beyond just general, I don't know, protections. Seemed to go way above him, and I think we got all the info we could have out of him.
But he knows the boss who hired this assassin to take my little girl and my boy. Yes?
Absolutely, sir. It's worth going after him if he provided logistical support to somebody kidnapped and threatened to kill 2 children.
He points to you and says, damn straight.
I most certainly am not, but continue.
What's that?
It's a gay joke. It's fine.
And he...
When I see an opportunity, I have to take it.
He goes back to take his seat again. And the chairwoman speaks up again, and she says, "Very well. Are there any further details that you would like to provide? Anything else that
Yes.
you can think of?"
Savant's a
Actually-
devil. Kidding. Godric does not say that.
That's factually incorrect, first of all.
It is what I
Um,
sincerely believe to be true.
Rude. Anyway, so I say yes. It was revealed to me as I traveled, or I don't remember when it was revealed. It was revealed to me that the followers of Wilena are being used as a scapegoat in all of this. And as a follower of Wilena myself, it is very important to me that our name is cleared and her name is cleared.
Hell, even as a follower of Benton, I have to second that sentiment. It is not just for them to be persecuted due to the devious machinations of villainy within the city.
Such a perfect Godric phrase. The devious machinations
Devious
of villainy.
machinations of villainy within the city. Within this great metropolis.
I can't believe I assembled that phrase. I'm done. Godric.
It's all downhill from here.
Just amazing. Okay. She says, Understood. We will certainly get the word out. I think that it will take some time for the city to heal. Many actions I think were taken by both sides over the last few days that were regrettable, but were taken in the interest of justice from differing people's viewpoints. Well,
Might I suggest something, Councilwoman, for future considerations?
she nods.
On that front, a noble goal with ill-reputed means might not be the correct course of pursuit.
What reputed means are you referring to?
I was at many of the temples of Walena. The treatment of just common citizens, though for a good purpose, was extreme.
She looks across to the half-orc woman, who looks down at you and says, "What treatments are you describing?"
Refusing them access to their place of worship without creation of a list. As I understand their religion, it is about freedom more so than anarchy. And I mean absolutely no disrespect by this. But their free exercise of that religion should have been respected. I wave my hand. I have been known to act with too much eagerness in pursuit of good. And so I understand how this could have happened. I just don't think it's a mistake that could be repeated.
The half-orc woman says, "We will consider this policy." Wow, she's turned into shit concrete. That's not what I was
Those
trying to
stones
do.
start growing as she speaks.
Jowls increases.
Just thinking of Nixon now from Futurama.
Darn, I had the accent and I lost it.
It was good.
She says, I'm really self-conscious.
Good, just go for it.
Yeah, she says, we will consider this. Nope.
No,
I
that's
lost
pretty
it.
good, man.
No,
You got it. That was good.
we will consider this in the future as we continue to try to balance people's freedoms versus the enforcement of safety within the city. And the chairwoman kind of nods. Very well. If there are no further questions from the council, I believe this concludes these ceremonies.
I do have one other thing. It occurs to me that one of the people behind this took the face of a council member. And had everything gone so sideways, if it were me, I would want to keep tabs on the situation. If I may, I would like to cast a spell to see if there is anyone here that is not what they seem. I understand that you have many precautions in in place. But as an extra one, if you would permit me.
Make a persuasion check.
She's actually casting a fireball.
4 Waldina.
Ooh, 19!
Um. What type of spell do you have in mind?
It would reveal any... Let me look at this. It would reveal any aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiend, or undead. I do not know necessarily if whoever it was any of these sort of creatures, but I figure it is a good place to start, potentially.
She says, we have cast spells like this. However, if it would make you feel better, I believe that this would be permissible. And she kind of looks back across the council, and the several of them who are clearly paying attention kind of shrug, so say, no objections. Very well, proceed.
Okay, I'm going to cast Detect Good and Evil, and then I'll take a little lap so that I get within 30 feet of everyone in the chamber.
Okay. Nothing lights up.
Godric does ping as undead, but whatever.
Cole does ping a celestial,
know.
but that's whatever.
Wait, really?
No.
Okay. So I cast this earlier.
It was worth a shot.
Okay. And the councilwoman kind of looks to you like,
Nothing.
very good. I would certainly hope not. Very well. I believe that our formal proceedings are able to be adjourned at this time. Lord Petrolov, I believe you had requested to meet with the four of these on your own. And the gnomish man says, he says, yes, my lady, if that would be possible. And he gestures in the direction of Lord Urkarin, and he says, and as we discussed, you may join us if you like. And Lord Urkarin sort of bows. And so the council are going to file out, and Lord Urkarin approaches the four of you, and he says, "I apologize. I have not been in very much communication today. It's been a lot of," he just kind of gestures to the stage, a lot of this.
Understandable.
Come, please. We have some other matters to discuss. And he leads you all to out a side door of the grand chambers to another office where Lord Petrolov also meets you, and Yeah, he you find Lord Petrolov to be a very gregarious man. He insists on shaking hands with each of you, and just thank you for rescuing my children. From the bottom of my heart, I have no words to describe my relief. Just thank you. You kind of hear a catch in his throat at this.
Of course.
He he sets a double check something.
A large sack of platinum.
A severed head.
Actually, just coins carved out of diamonds.
I missed you
Hey,
guys
in
so
one
much.
level, I'm gonna need one of those.
I'll make it a point to ask if the kids are doing okay while he's thanking us.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're asking what?
If the kids are doing okay since they've been back home.
Yes, he says yes, they're home and resting. It was a bit of a traumatic experience for them, but hopefully in time they will be back to their normal self. He yeah, I think he's just going to I think he's just carrying a large sack. And I mean, this is yeah, he's carrying this sack that's honestly almost as tall as he is. But he out of the sack he says I've put together a few items that in speaking with Lord Urkarin and learning about your adventuring ways, I've put together a few items that might be of use to you in your travels as a gesture of thanks. And so the first thing that he pulls out of out of the sack is a lantern, actually. He says this has the ability to reveal certain hidden things, and I believe that this could come in handy as you are continuing in your adventuring career. So I am going to put these all wait a minute. So players show to everyone. There we go. This is a lantern of revealing. And the next thing he brings out is quite heavy, but he sets the sack down on the floor, and with some effort he brings out this large mace. Show to players. There it is. And then he pulls a smaller pouch out of the sack, Um, and from the smaller pouch, he pulls out a gem, a rather sizable looking gem, like the size of your palm, like the palm of your hand, of any of your hands. A red, decided red, right? Yes, a red gem. He says, and should you have need of it, this has the ability to summon some type of creature to your aid. Our spellcasters are not sure exactly what type of creature. However, I believe it could be something of use to you. And he kind of jingle kind of shakes the pouch a little bit, and it's clear that there's some gold in there, or some coins in there too. He says, and more generally, there's some gold in here. And finally, he kind of catches your eye a little bit, Sivan, and he says, I'm to understand that sometimes you wish to enter places, and you all wish to enter places and not necessarily reveal who you are, and so I've thrown in something a little extra, and
Oh, we don't need that.
pulls out a circlet from the sack as well, and sets it on the table.
Thank you so much.
And
Godric grabs it. This is clearly criminal in nature. We should destroy it. It must be burned.
We understand, sir. We'll just get this taken care of for you. It'll be thrown into a volcano at our earliest possible convenience.
Where's the nearest acid pit?
Actually, we're headed to a volcano anyway, so we'll just hit it on the
There
way.
you go.
And there we go.
My precious. Okay. So yeah, and he says, I hope that in some way these things can show our gratitude for what you have accomplished for us.
Absolutely.
What is next for the rest of you? Or for you all, I should say.
Actually, if you don't mind, I have a favor to maybe ask of both of you as well. We were able to help bring your family back together, and now mine is in trouble again. So, just a bit of information, I should say. I was walking around Egard with my brother selling crop at the farmer's market, and there was a magical phenomenon, surge of sorts. And didn't know what happened in the moment, but there's a lot of damage done. And when I got here, I recognized somebody. Well, later found out his name was Vin Vinder. Seemed to be present and familiar with a number of magical items that could have caused this phenomenon. And I just need to find out what happened, so my family doesn't lose our livelihood, as he started rumors that I caused this issue.
And what is it you would ask of us with regards to Vinder?
I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with the political or city types. If no one or have information, have ways to either get information from him or find out how I could find him and talk to him.
he says, he, yeah, he says, well, you certainly don't mess around when asking for favors. Vinder is a very powerful and rich man. It is possible
Well
that
heard.
we could get a meeting with him if you would like. If he's accusing you, however, of mischief and misdeeds, then is that what you want? Meet him face to face.
I like when things are simple. Problems should be dealt with person to person conversation if possible. But based on the way he's been acting, the situation so far, I don't know if that's just an option. But you two, based on the council back there, seem much more well versed, balancing the political and council, all of that stuff with your own goals. So I was hoping either some information or insight, advice.
He says, insight into this particular situation, I'm afraid I have nothing to offer. Vinder certainly is a powerful and rich man. He has many things in his collection that, as you say, could certainly be powerful enough to cause harm. As to why he would frame you or set off an explosion at all, I am not aware. But if you like, I could see about arranging a meeting for you.
I'd appreciate that. I think, very least, it'd be a step in. Otherwise, I'm not sure the best approach.
Very well. We will make the arrangements and get in touch with you. How else can we be of service to you?
You could use some access to the library.
The field of knowledge, yes. Lord Okarn, I believe, mentioned this. It's very unusual to allow access to the library outside of academic research and such projects, but I will speak with Lord Runelithmay, and I believe I can get you access to for a short amount of time.
One more thing. My grandfather, Aldrich Lex, our family name has been tarnished for what has been taken as a poor decision on his part. If there are any records, any recordings of proceedings, I'm just seeking to better understand why these political consequences befell him so harshly. He's gone from managing a wealthy, noble house to coordinating work at the docks. It seems a little severe.
Lord Petrolov exchanges a glance with Lord Okarin, and he says, "Your grandfather arranged a foolhardy expedition which caused great loss of life, and it was deemed that his judgment was very lacking in this circumstance, and thus he fell out of trust for many people, and that is why many people refused to deal with him. It was not so much a government
it wasn't like a taking of his title, it was falling out of it.
Right, yeah. It was not a what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It was not a punishment levied by the government. It was
Was
a
it never
general loss
discussed?
of reputation.
Was it never discussed in the council chambers? These discussions of the foolhardiness of the loss. It seems like it might have been a matter of the council's concern.
Certainly, the council was aware of it, and they expressed some concerns. I mean, it wasn't. It was not a direct matter for this city, as the expedition did not leave from here. We heard of course of the expedition and the plans for it, but it was not our jurisdiction to make any rulings on it per se.
So are there no council records of any discussion on the matter?
He thinks for a moment and says, I don't know that we had formal discussions about it. It was something that we were aware of, but didn't have opportunity to make a formal decision related to it.
Thank you, then. I'll continue to seek information elsewhere.
Very well. Well, I believe that that is all I can think of for the moment. If you have further need, please do reach out. Lord Okarin, I believe, would be your best point of contact, as he knows you best, and he may soon be in a position to be more helpful to you anyway. And he again exchanges a glance with Okarin. He actually steps forward at this point, and he says, "Yes, it seems that I'm being considered as one possible replacement for Lord McKinnon's seat on the council. Of course, if this were to happen, then it would be in many ways, I would owe much to you for your service to me in this regard. That has helped in my own reputation greatly."
Well, congratulations, sir.
It's not a done deal yet, but Thank you.
Even the nomination has got to count for something.
Best of luck to you on this road ahead.
Thank you. All right. So I think that is pretty much everything from the council, unless there's anything else you want to do while you are there.
Nope, I've successfully started the timer until Cole is killed. So,
Everything's fine.
yeah. It's like those moments where, yeah, that's what Cole would do. Armus knows, making a meeting with the rich, evil bureaucrat who has access to unlimited magical items. Probably not the best call, but...
All right. Well, we'll see. Okay. So it is now, by this time, it's getting into like dinner time. What would you be up to next?
Think we gotta kind of call dibs on these treasures, right?
Dibs on the circlet.
I want the elemental gem.
Kidding.
Uh,
Gem is a one-time use.
Your
yeah.
volume's way down again.
Think she asked if the gem is a one-time use.
mhm.
It is, yes.
She asked if some things are one-time use. I think the gem's the only one. So
Better?
Yes,
Better.
Yeah.
The gem is a one-time use thing, right?
it is, yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, so
So-
I will take the circlet.
There you go. And I think
And-
the mace would go to Godric because it's made for Ben.
I'm not a
Maybe.
cleric of Benton though, so I don't know. Maybe Savan has a better claim as being a cleric in general.
I don't really do a lot of melee attacks personally.
All right, fine if you guys insist.
I mean, I'll take it.
And she's one of the half of the party that already has dark vision. So,
Ooh, that is a good point.
Yeah. All right, I'll take the mace. Wait, let me just check. I just want to make sure
unfortunately, that is not one of the
swords.
6 individual weapon types that I'm proficient in. All 6 weapons that I can use as a sorcerer.
I'll say you're a sorcerer, so it's like quarterstaffs and daggers mostly.
Daggers, darts, slings, quarterstaffs, and light crossbows.
I'll take the lantern. Yeah, I'll take the lantern.
Cole, I swear, if you kill us with this fire elemental you summon with the gem,
Full circle, baby.
it is possible to lose control of this creature and have it turn against you.
Yeah.
It's probably fine.
Oh, yeah, nothing can come of that. Whatever.
And I get the feeling that if Godric took it, he would be like, "You picked that woman's purse." Throw it down.
Just the first time I see something wrong.
Jaywalking.
Like, hey, he littered.
Okay.
Would
That's
he,
how it
though?
got you
Would he?
right.
I mean, would he?
How
ask-
darest
would he-
thou pollute this city?
Yeah, but wouldn't you be more likely to smite them yourself than ask for help to smite them?
Those came up in a one-shot I was running the other day. Somebody asked the Lord if he's so powerful, why doesn't he hunt down the bandits? Listen, if it's my gold or my elemental gem, I'm the one doing it. Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not about the immediate problem, it's about sending a message. Also, that gem doesn't specify how long it stays or if it ever goes.
Yeah, I redacted the definition of that because
Okay.
slightly. Let me update that because I think I was a little too harsh in my redaction. I
Nerfing.
was modifying it because I had a specific creature in mind, but I think I went a little overboard. I will
And
update
if it,
that.
to be honest, we don't know anything about it besides that it summons something. If you want to leave it vague and kind of decide in the moment how long it lasts, that's fine.
Yes, actually, because this is not something that you would attune to, so you would not really learn more about it. So yes, it would be vague. That's why that's right. That's why I redacted it.
I'm gonna cast Identify. No, I don't have that.
You could have it identified if you want it.
If only we knew something we could ask about it. Just summon
Birthday
the
to
creature,
the
ask it,
ground.
excuse me, how long are you here now?
Please don't kill us.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Anyways.
take some time to attune to that circlet.
Okay. Yeah, and so when you are wearing that circlet, just make sure I'm yes, when you're attuned and wearing it, it this isn't really your style, but you basically are transformed into a human blonde woman with fair skin and long blonde hair, kind of in pigtails.
In pigtails.
It's human perfection for Andrew. Pigtails.
Now, is it always set in that style, or is it like physical
Yeah,
to
I
the
was
point where
gonna
she could
ask.
change it?
No, it's the perfect human form. Always has pigtails.
The form is up to
Well,
the
I meant,
circlet, so she doesn't get to choose
does
the
it
form.
change every time? Or
Mm,
is it always the same?
My understanding is that it's always the same.
Okay.
So you're still wearing your hood up. I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it doesn't have to be. Okay, so it doesn't have to be pigtails. You can take the pigtails out,
Okay,
but it is
good.
blonde.
Can she dye the hair?
Fine. I mean, my real hair is white, so.
Close-ish.
Meh.
All right,
So,
but
yeah, I
you
guess
no
I'll
longer
take
have to
the
keep
elemental
casting
gem.
disguise self all the time.
Yeah, so nice.
Sorry, what was that, Artemis?
So yeah, I guess it's unspoken with these two, but I guess I'll take the elemental gem and Godric with the main.
Okay.
Oh, and Soup gets the torch. I was gonna say, and Soup gets nothing. But I
Man,
forgot
I
about
can-
that.
Have this participation medal.
And there is 1,000 gold in the pouch.
You cut out there at the end.
There's a
Fuck yeah.
there's
1,000 gold.
1,000 gold in the pouch.
Alright.
Are we
So
splitting it
250
evenly?
each.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I was under great peril during the
I hold up my 7 total coins on my wallet. Sorry, 11 if you count the copper.
What'd you do with
Total
all your
coins on my wall.
gold?
Bribed a crime lord to save
yeah.
children.
Oh, right, yes.
If we give you a double share, then it'd still be 200 each, and you get 400, and then we'd all end up about the same, honestly.
No, I'm kidding. It's fine.
No, I feel like you bribed the crime lord for the party, though Godric would
I mean,
never
Soup
concede
gave
that.
gave the same amount. I just spent stuff on components before that. Plus the cape. So,
It's fine. It's
All right,
fine.
so yeah,
250.
make sure your inventories are up to date with everything you got. But
Never
yeah, I
had
figured
this much gold before.
you guys have not had a lot of opportunities to, loot treasure hoards. So figured it was about time you guys got some bling.
Thank you.
I could sell this mace to just get plate mail.
You
Dude.
could.
I want plate mail so bad.
Well, now you're 250 gold closer to it.
This is true.
How much is plate mail?
Like 1,500, I want to say.
All right, so what's the plan?
Can we get to Stilt Town before the nighttime?
Maybe we'd be arriving.
You'd be getting there probably like 8-9 o'clock at night, but you could do it.
Godric, you were pretty antsy to get going. Do you want to head there?
I do. I was going to say, can we like take stock of our quest threads, but if no one objects to just clearing this quick one out of the way.
I think yours
Sure.
is the main one remaining on this continent that's not up in the mountain.
Yeah.
It might be good though to do a quick. I mean, I think it would be natural for the party to have a conversation about what
Okay.
threads you have open.
Stretch.
Yeah,
Give
so
a list of threads.
got to repair my family sword, and I got to get to Ryokan, where the only solid evidence I have is the page of drawings that look suspiciously like Savan. Not saying anything about that, but weird.
I personally killed all those people. That's my
knew it.
backstory.
All the people in the drawing.
No, I mean, like, what? Because he organized an expedition to Rayacon, right? And then
Oh,
everybody
all the
died.
people he sent. Oh my god.
Yes, I personally killed every
Just sunk the
single one
ship.
of them. Yeah. Yeah, that was.
Right. So I have that volcano in the middle of a lake on an island in the middle of the ocean
Yep.
to visit.
Yep.
Which, by the
I
way,
have-
there's
yeah.
there's a real life equivalent to that.
I know what you're
I
referring to.
was doing some
It's so
research
cool.
today. It's really cool.
That is cool.
I also need to find Vinvinder. I need to find a cliff and test out this cloak of gliding.
Oh, sorry. That adds
Just
one more
find
to
a
my quest
rooftop.
thing. I want to go to Zolf and
Nah.
figure out this
Go big
Benton
or go
riddle, so
home.
maybe we can double down there with the cloak.
But you need to review
it's
that
just
riddle
Reuben,
first. Don't
might not-
forget.
I
I'm
might not
looking
have
at
as
it.
much enough time to like activate. It has to be at least enough to kill me normally, so we know the difference.
We still didn't actually figure out who was behind all of this stuff in the city.
Mhm.
And then also the riddle and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that smut that we have to go back and read.
Yes, of course. How could we forget
I'm
about the
so.
smut?
Before I joined the campaign, I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes. I did not get to the smut, so I'm very curious about this now.
It was, I think, right before you joined the campaign.
He could sense it. It drew him to the campaign.
Just,
I
I
was just like,
smell smut.
I was gonna say I wanted to balance the
does
party
smut
by
smell like?
providing a frontliner. Apparently, my extra sense of the smut was like, and also there are a bunch of degens and everything, so I'll be the morally upstanding paladin. Gotta counterbalance the smut-seeking nature of this group.
Okay.
And then the other thing is I still don't know really anything about Carrion King or what I need to do for that, but I wouldn't talk about that. But just for the group.
Oh,
God, I really want to trace down that Carrion King thread. That's so meta.
shoot. There was something else I meant to do when you were doing the book. So we're gonna flash back. You're all sitting in the library doing your research. Sapaklu, you are reading this account of it would actually be whichever book you look at the first as you sit down to do this research. The first book that you open, the first page that you open to, you find on the page you see this shimmering blue portal looking thing that you've seen several times, and it's not a picture. You actually see the shimmering on the page.
I'm gonna touch it.
You touch it?
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
I touch it.
Yeah, you totally get that shot of dopamine, and yeah.
Anything else or just the dopamine?
Yeah, and then it disappears.
Actually,
What's that?
I was going to say, actually, you're sucked into the portal and none of the rest of the episode happened.
Ooh. And then we do a whole episode inside books.
What we don't know yet is we're actually running a false Hydra campaign. Right now, we're just trying through all false memories of people that never, without people who did exist, being redacted from them.
Or he got sucked into the book, but we still had Sapaklu with us.
Ooh, spooky.
And your Detect Evil and Good picked up Faye for some reason.
Ooh, spooky soupy. I like it.
So yeah,
Soupy.
would you react to this at all or say anything to anyone?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep it on the DL.
Okay.
I feel like Godric needs to lecture the whole party at this point, leaving after the interrogation by the council about, isn't life just easier when you tell the truth?
No.
All you do
Yeah,
is
none of
create
you have
problems for
questioned me
later.
about anything, and I'm really hoping it stays that way. Well, Sivan is. I
I'm-
desperately want you to, but
Oh, a reckoning's coming.
All right.
Well,
so the
we've kind of
plan
gone
is what's that?
danger to danger so far. We spent 4 sessions in one day being pursued by thugs.
yeah.
So?
And chasing a few thugs yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plan is to travel to Holmfirth tonight.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Sounds good. Then we will pick up there next time. There on that journey. Yeah, okay.
Alrighty.
Well, thanks. It was fun to get back to it.
Yeah. It'd be nice to get out of the city after the 2 days we spent in the city.
Yeah.
2
2 whole
and
days.
6 months.
If I don't roll initiative soon,
You just rolled initiative last. No, you didn't. 2 sessions ago.
I roll in
So a
that
month
one to
ago.
go down the stairs. The
Yeah.
gym shatters. Roll initiative.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Alright, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I bet.
yeah.
All right.
Good night,
Well,
everyone.
thanks everyone for tuning in, and be sure to tune back in Monday and Tuesday nights. We're 3 days a week now. It's exciting.
Got to produce that content.
Good stuff. All right. Thanks everyone.
All right. So the thing I want to